Everyone, Duane here. Hey, look, I want to talk to you about something that happened to me back when I was 30, 32 years old, and how it affected wealth even today. So I've made some really good decisions in life and had some really good business opportunities, things that happened, and made some pretty good money doing it. But if I look at what I could have made or net worth that I would have based on just two things that happened in my early 30s, I can tell you that two decisions would have added 300,000, give or take, 295, 305, but roughly $300,000 of net worth. Two decisions that I didn't make, or I made the wrong decision. So in 2000, May of 2000, I was fired / quit from my employer. So he was going to fire me and I was trying to quit, and we still don't know who won that battle. But either way, I wasn't there anymore. And I was the service technician for a heating and air conditioning company. So I'd always thought about, not always, but probably for up until 2 or 3 years before that, I had started thinking about working for myself and what would that look like and what would it feel like. So subconsciously, I was preparing myself. Well, May of 2000, it was a reality. And I started my heating and air conditioning company, and started with business license, contractor's license, reaching out to everyone I knew, letting them know what I was doing, and thank God and the universe, but it worked out. We started growing this company. I hired one person and then two, and then we grew it from one pickup truck to 2 vans and 5 vans, and next thing you know, we were a pretty substantial company. But in 2 years, we were making really good money, and I had met my wife in 2000, right around the time I quit my other job / got fired. Let's just say departed. I met my now wife, Becky, and in 2002, we decided to get married and buy a new house. Now, I was living in a 950 square foot house, and we decided to buy a roughly 4,000 square foot house in another city. And there was a lot of money at the time for that house. It was a big deal, but I was starting to make money, and so my thing was I was working hard and I was making a little extra money, and this is what I wanted to do. I want to buy this bigger house. However, that's where the mistakes came in. Prior to that, I had a townhouse that I had owned since I bought it in 1992, and I'd refied it one time, and basically in 2001 I sold it. I had maybe at the time only about $15,000 in equity. I only owed $52,000 on the property. It was a townhouse, 2-bedroom, two bath townhouse. And I decided to, in 2001, the business was going. We were getting it done. We had tenants, that moved out. And so we said, okay, let's sell it. And we sold it to someone pretty much for break even. I say pretty much for break even. I might have came to the table with a few dollars just to get rid of it, because that was my idea. It was a debt. I mean, I was really good in business and HVAC. I can tell you exactly how to make money in every little, how to charge for wire nuts, contactors, service calls, service contracts. But real estate at the time was something that I knew on a buying and selling for, but not really investing long-term for long-term wealth. And so I looked at it as a debt. So I sold the townhouse. And in 2002, we bought our new house and sold the house that I was living in. That I think we had a $68,000 balance on that, paid maybe $600 a month mortgage payment, mortgage payment, insurance, the whole 9 yards. So not a ton of money. I mean, if you think about it right now, I would get that deal again in a heartbeat. But what happened was, had the new house, the big house payment. Oh, let's get rid of this house, because if we get tenants and something breaks or they move out, we're going to have to pay for it. Now, this was in 2002. This is when I was buying vans, paying cash for vans. At the time, they were $25,000, $30,000. But I was selling this house that was actually valued at $90,000 or $95,000, but only owed $68,000 on it, with a $600 a month payment. Well, the van payments were $450, I think they were, and they were about $30,000. So roughly a little bit less than half the value of this house. But I said, okay, it's for work. I'm generating revenue with it, but the house, I need to sell it. Mistake, absolute mistake. Selling real estate, in my opinion, single family, affordable housing, it's not smart, unless there's some really extenuating circumstances that you have to do it. And so fast forward, I'm 50 years old, and this week I've been really hard on myself about certain decisions in the past. Now, I've made really, really good business decisions. I run a very successful business. I built that heating and air conditioning company up to multiple seven figures. I sold it for a nice payday. When you look at the success there was success after success. Every day was a win. Every day we were doing better. Every day we were knocking out of the park. But that was the hard work part of me going out, physically doing it, hiring people, facilitating it in the heating and air business. But I neglected the investing business or the wealth creation business. And the reason why I neglected it, because of fear. I was afraid, what if they move out? What if I can't afford the house payment? Fear. And I tell everybody, fear cannot exist where there's knowledge on a particular subject. So you can be fearful of falling off a cliff, but you can be very smart in your job, math, whatever, heating and air, building, whatever job you're in. But in the space of finance at the time, I had a lack of knowledge, so I had fear. Whereas now, the knowledge I have pushes the fear away. It doesn't exist. Like it goes somewhere else because now I know what it takes. Now I can still make a bad decision, but I can tell you up front if what I'm doing is very risky or it's very safe investment. Back then, I just looked at everything as being, if I didn't live there, it was a risk. Fast forward, like I said, you're around 50 years old. And I look at those two properties. One would be paid off today. One would be paid off in, I think, 3 years. And between the two properties, they would be both combined, right now, current value, $300,000. So imagine that. When I was a new business owner and making money, I decided to sell those two houses because that was what we did. That was my knowledge. That was my experience. That was what I had always learned about money, is that you needed to protect it. You needed to keep it close to you. The thing about money is when you squeeze a dollar to death, it disappears. It vanishes. It doesn't multiply. It doesn't grow. It doesn't prosper, right? So imagine if I would have had that house, the single family house that was worth $68,000, 3 years from now, I would have no mortgage on it. The townhouse that rents for $1,200 a month would be paid off. The house right now in that market rents for about $1,300 a month. So not only would I have the net worth of $300,000, give or take, but I would have about $2,500 of income, pre-tax income, coming in each month on two properties that were paid for. And that is what this message of today's video is. Learn wealth creation. Learn how the rich play the game of money. Okay, learn that the fear of not being able to pay a mortgage payment, even though, guess what, you're making the money to pay the mortgage payment. The fear on two houses, on two deals, cost me $300,000 today and $2,500 a month income. See, that's the other thing. Look at the values, bad enough. Now it's $2,500 a month coming in that I would have. I'm on a mission to teach every single person that I can to learn finance. Create the life that you want to create by understanding how money works. If you go to a bank, they will gladly loan you money. They'll take your down payment, or they'll take your application, and based on your credit, and they'll give you money to buy a $80,000 pickup truck. I mean, I bought a $76,000 F-250, but just a few years ago, I was afraid to keep a $68,000 house. So one is an asset and one is a liability. But if I go to the bank in 7 years, I can pay a $76,000 truck off. But if I buy a $76,000 house, it's going to take me 30 years. It's just dumb. The whole system is made to keep you in debt. It's made to keep you where you are. And my mission is to tell you, this is not hypothetical. I didn't read this story somewhere. I've been hard on myself this week because I know better now. And I don't dwell on the past, don't get me wrong, but I do remember the past. So I'll never make that mistake again. So understand finance, and it's not, because you're dealing with your CPA, you're dealing with your banker, you're dealing with a friend, you're dealing with anyone, that doesn't mean they know how wealth is created. They might know their job, and they probably know it well, and they know how to count dollars, but that doesn't mean they're the wizard on how you create wealth in the future and how you get out of this game that you have to play every single day, get up early, go to a job that you may like or you might not like it, but either way, you've got to go, and you pay your bills, and on the weekend, you're exhausted, and you're thinking, man, life is supposed to be more than this, and it is. So if you're in your 20s right now, and you are looking to buy a house, I can't tell you if it's the right deal for you. You know your situation. You got to do what you have to do. But I'm telling you my example, if I could go back in time and reverse a few things, I would own those 2 properties and a lot more. I would own those 2 properties today. I would have income coming in from those properties, and I would have a lot of wealth, a lot of equity in those properties. I mean, $300,000 for Pete's sakes. 2 properties. What does it take? It takes not being afraid when you're younger, because what's happening now, time is paying those properties off. Your tenants are paying the properties off. The younger you are, the better that works for you. Now, what about if you're older? What if you are in your 40s and 50s? Does that mean the game's over with? No, not at all. If you're in your 50s, you can buy investment property. You want to look with something with equity, of course. You want positive cash flow. You want the property to work for you. And there's several different ways. A lot of people say you keep a balance on it because liability purposes. If somebody sees a $100,000 property and you owe 80 on it, they're less likely to sue you than if you owe it free and clear. I guess that's a theory. Maybe it's right, maybe it's wrong. I have no idea. Ask your attorney. But in my eyes, in the future, we're getting ready to close on a rental property very soon. And after I flip 2 or 3 houses, and pay off some long-term debt on some stuff that I'm doing, I'm going to take $20,000, $30,000 and dump it on one of these properties. I'm going to get the property paid off free and clear. I just want a few of them free and clear in my portfolio. Now, a lot of stuff will have leverage on it. It'll have mortgages on it. I get that. That's using other people's money. That's how you grow wealth. That's how you expand. I know that. But it's a personal thing for me, whether it's the best investing use of my money that I could do or not. I'm going to have a few properties that are just free and clear in the next 5 years. Why? Because I want to. That's why. It's just what I want to do. But like everything else on YouTube, I'm not telling you financial advice. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not telling you what you should or shouldn't do. I'm simply telling you what I did, and I would highly recommend understanding how money works, how wealth is created. Look, YouTube is a great resource for this. Google is just Google how to create wealth. And with the technology that we have, this video today or a podcast we have, whatever it takes, create the freedom, okay? Create the freedom for you and your family by understanding, by learning. And always in every video, I think just about every video, I tell you to surround yourself with a good team. That's legal, tax, advertising, insurance. Surround yourself with a good team, okay? So then you know whatever it is you're looking at doing, you pass it around to your experts and put it out. Is it a good idea or not? And then move on. But learn investing. I'm just telling you what I should have done. I look at it and two decisions that were made different than they were, only 2 decisions. 20 years ago, I would have had $300,000 more, and trust me, I have stuff that we've done in the past, but I would have $300,000 more net worth, and I would have $2,500 pre-tax money coming in a month from the rent. Let that sink in. 2 decisions, $300,000 plus $2,500 a month coming in. Just let that sink in. That's the realities of understanding investing, understanding how money works, and understanding that where there's knowledge in a particular subject, there can't be fear. Knowledge erases fear. Try it. Any subject of your life. Learn as much as you can. Talk to as many people as possible. Understand it so that if you're in your 20s, you're in your 30s especially, guess what? You can totally change your future for the better. Like and subscribe if you would to this channel. Keep in touch with us. Look, I want to know. Comment below. You like it? You not like it? What about it? Don't you like? Just let me know. I really want to know your input on it, but I would really love for you to subscribe to the channel. Hit the little bell icon so you'll know when we go live or dump a video. And you're going to see this is not theory. I didn't read it. This is me regretting 2 decisions that I made years ago, and how do I reverse that, and how do I replace that $300,000? That's what I'm going to work on in a few videos from now. I'll talk to you later.